Survival games are a great way to torment yourself while having a few cheap laughs along the way. Nothing says outstanding gameplay like having to regularly check that your vitamins and minerals are at sufficient levels. I've never even done that in real life. Not even being sarcastic though, I live for this. I've always had my eye on Scum, and so I decided to make a video on it. Little did I know when I started playing that I was embarking on a 20-hour journey that would at times make me question everything. It's notoriously hard to find other players in this game, so naturally I set myself a goal: to locate and kill another player.
Little zombie.
You start off as a criminal in futuristic custody. I give my boy some tattoos to make him look scary, but he ends up just looking like a white supremacist. I'm thrown from a plane with my hands tied behind my back, which seems mean. I open my parachute and the world below violently shakes, just like when you go parachuting in real life. I search for some stones so I can make tools, but then I encounter my first zombie. Fortunately, I'm able to stay calm and handle the situation delicately.
Oh, bro! I'm kicking this zombie, man.
I notice there's an option to take your own life. I press it because I don't have any tools, and so I thought he'd fail, but no, the big man breaks his own neck. That's pretty impressive. Take 2, and this time I land in the snow biome. My captors did give me a beanie and gloves this time, which is actually really thoughtful. I miss the LZ and end up parachuting right down to the bottom of the dam, immediately losing the high ground advantage. The zombies begin swarming me, but it's not like they've got Gatling guns for arms, so I should be fine. As I try to lose the ever-growing horde chasing me, I stumble across a mech robot that has Gatling guns for arms. It's at this moment I learn this island has huge killer robots on it, which is terrifying. The third time's the charm as I parachute towards a more chill-looking area. My avatar appears to be scared for sure, but still definitely looks like a racist. I realise it's time to nut up and concentrate so I can survive this wilderness. I punch a zombie to death and take their clothes. I then run towards a factory bleeding heavily from the fight because properly treating your wounds is for field medics and women. I infiltrate the facility and then I see it. Another mech. Nothing spices up the survival experience like being one-tapped by futuristic military technology. I'm not ashamed to admit I run away immediately. I then have to pivot back to my Neanderthal ancestors' way of life and I begin crafting using sticks and stones. Before long, I have an improvised wooden spear that I can prod zombies with from a sensible distance. Like the video if you use a spear like this to keep all the hot little mamazitos chasing you around every day at bay. If you're wondering why it's going black and white, it's because I'm low on blood. You can see here in my injury report, I'm what doctors would call absolutely f***ed. No need to go to medical school when you can just play this game for a few hours. Scum is a cruel, lonely world, but fortunately one of my mates is not too far away. It's taken us a while to find each other, so the moment is special.
Oh! Yes!
What's up, dude?
Oh my god.
Finally happened.
Oh my god, we are here. Yes!
Dude, we've done it. Whoa!
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Kind of ruined the moment. With Jack by our side, we should be chilling. The priority is making a camp so that we have a place to call home and respawn if we die. This area is already inhabited by someone. Fortunately, I have the shrewd ability to pick up on small clues to determine if someone is hostile or not. The shelter and bed suggest they are definitely killers. This evidence is further supported by the severed human head on a stick. We continue searching for the perfect place for a base.
Jack, don't want to fool you, but there's a zombie rolling up on you, dude. What are you saying?
It's behind you, bro.
Imagine cutting down an entire tree with a sharpened stone. My hard labour earns me my very own bed to sleep on. Unrelatable content for kids in orphanages, but the progress we're making is inspiring. It's at this moment we realise we've set up camp in the middle of a bear breeding ground, or if you want your immersion to be shattered, a bear spawn point. As you can imagine, this is far from ideal. I head out towards the closest town for a supply run, but I'm attacked. Before I know what's happened, I've got a micro horde chasing me, and I don't know how long my spear will last.
Oh no, dude, I feel so helpless.
I have this awkward moment where I don't know whether to help or not. There's no point us both dying, but at the end of the day, you've got to back up the boys.
No! Come on. Yeah, fuck off. Oh my god, I stabbed him.
Dude, you're a hero.
Oh my god. Let's lay down. Let's lay down and just be still.
You're good.
Yuck! That is up.
My character definitely didn't have enough food in his stomach for bulimic banter. This makes the next supply run crucial to our survival. We roll up on a nearby picturesque Croatian village. It's an interesting country to choose for an apocalyptic game. It's one of the few places where undead flesh-eating zombies are actually less angry than the typical citizen. We loot the village, finding all sorts of useful things. Vending machines come in so clutch for finding cans of drink to stay hydrated. Bedrooms come in clutch for finding purple Scottish kilts to wear. I imagine that'd actually be pretty good for fighting in, as they don't restrict movability and are obviously breathable. While clearing out a gorgeous little 2-bedroom townhouse, a big girl wakes up from his slumber and squares up. I fight him, but he manages to knock me to the ground, or maybe I just accidentally pressed the prone button because I'm bad at PC games, who knows. I eventually win, but I'm knocking on death's door. I limp to bed and lay down in an attempt to recover.
1 hour later.
Back at camp, Jack's got a fire going and everything, he's really carrying. I stay close to the flames because my character's got some serious infections from all that zombie fighting and the warmth is helping.
Do you have any twine there at all?
Do I have any twine? What is this, like 1780?
Another bear unsurprisingly attacks us, but this time we know to fight it. Out of interest, I looked up what to do if a bear attacks you in the real world, and the NPS government website literally says this. Lay flat on your stomach and spread your legs apart. Stay still and don't make any noise as you're trying to convince the bear that you aren't a threat. Bro, it sounds like you're trying to convince the bear you're ready for breeding. What is that advice to spread your legs? Might as well put on some Armani cologne, a pair of black panties, and cover your nipples in salmon-flavoured whipped cream so the bear really knows you're about it. The beast eventually bleeds out, and it's a big moment.
Off a bear, just 2 homies chopping off a bear.
100%.
It's like our proudest moment for sure, killing this thing.
This is amazing.
The victory is short-lived, however, as my character isn't doing great. I have 6 different infections which are all slowly killing me. Statistically, one of them is AIDS. It's fun gameplay, I promise. I have no choice but to abandon Jack and try and find a medical facility that could have antibiotics. I decide to sneak through the forest, which proves to be a truly awful decision as it allows the undead to sneak up on me. My character is so weak that I struggle to fight back. I've seen teenage pregnancies planned better than this expedition. I have no choice but to go for a little dip. It becomes immediately apparent that my character can't swim. He can kill a bear, but he can't give me 2 minutes of backstroke. I proceed to drown at the bottom of the river. At least it was fresh water. I spawn back in and begin parachuting back to camp, as fortunately I was able to spawn close by. Jack's been busy cooking up the entire bear we killed and making himself extravagant hats. We can't just stay here forever dressing up in fancy clothes though, so we decide to head for the middle of this huge red circle. We don't know what's there, but it must be worth the journey as it's coloured red. It's a huge journey, but before long we reach the snow biome. It's here we get attacked by the thickest zombie I've ever seen. She's curvy as hell, dead ass. About to teach her the zombie sex position. She just lies back and gets eaten. About to turn this plague into an STI. Sorry, Anna's been away for a couple of weeks and I guess that means video game zombies are attractive now. I also just wanted to make that dead ass joke. Zombie play of the day goes to Jack for his quick thinking.
Oh my god, more zombies. Come down, come. Just come down here.
Dude, we just like... Dude, we just...
Oh, they all just fall down.
As we approach the center of the red circle, the blizzard gets stronger. I was hoping we would get guns here or maybe some supplies, but no, we found something arguably much better. A UFC fighting cage. We immediately take off our clothes and enter the arena. Both on the verge of dying of hypothermia, we fight it out. Eventually, we both pick up spears and begin stabbing each other. Jack then throws his spear into my stomach and it does no damage. We can't kill each other because we're friends. I don't know what comes over him, and to quote one of my YouTube video titles, but then the unexpected happened.
Oh no. You've used your mental...
What the
My mental capacity's more, and yours is
You're
more.
just a
and
cap.
I-
Your just head exploded, bro.
Yes!
What's up, dude?
Oh my god.
Finally happened. Off a bear, just 2 homies chopping off a bear.
This is amazing.
The only person who could kill Jack was Jack. I don't know why his head exploded. I still have the goal of killing another player, and so I decide to make a stunning and brave decision. Joining a Chinese server. The writing alone makes me scared because of the fear of the unknown. Mandarin is one of 3 languages I don't speak fluently. I find a nice little village to land on, but I open my parachute apparently a bit too late and kamikaze into the ground, which if I'm not mistaken is potentially cultural appropriation. This time I open the parachute nice and early. My character looks understandably terrified. I've decided to completely change up my strategy. The camp Jack and I made was cute, but this time I'm going to hit towns and cities to find weapons. This immediately appears to be a superior strategy. You have to urinate in this game or your character pees their pants. I find a tranquil location to relieve myself. This is what AAA games are missing. Bodily functions. How much better would Minecraft be if Big Stevie flopped out his King Cobra and took a piss every half hour? I fall into a pattern of loot a town and then move on to the next point of interest. I often had to actually walk as my avatar slept on cardio. His diet probably wasn't helping as all I fed the Malacca was uncooked pumpkin. Breakfast of champions. I find a police station and inside one of the lockers is an MP5 submachine gun, a game changer. Well, no, because I only have bullets for it, but not an MP5 magazine. Therefore, this MP5 can only be fired like a single shot rifle. Far from ideal, but the real question is, can it kill a Chinese person? I then spot a player parachuting down from the skies, and I can't tell you how excited I was. This game is like DayZ. You can go so long without seeing anyone that when you do, it's genuinely a huge moment as you're both risking hours of loot and hard work. I chase after this guy as fast as I can, and I find what could be his base. I managed to translate the signs using this cool website, and one of them says, "I'm going to die poor," and the other one says, "Don't be in front of my house, disgusting, thank you." Some poor dude is just kindly asking people not to grief him, which is actually pretty sweet. It doesn't matter what language we speak or where we're born, we're all the same on the inside. I proceed to use the small amount of 9mm ammunition I have to pop all 4 of his tyres. 3 hours later, I hear another player's vehicle. As he tries to drive away, I fire my MP5 hunting rifle and narrowly miss the shot. He drives away as fast as he can, clearly scared of my drip. In fairness, if I saw a guy in a yellow wide-brimmed hat and snorkel, I'd just assume he was going to obliterate me. I begin going insane as I desperately seek out a target. There were 80 people in the server, but no matter what I did, I couldn't attract them. I tried to communicate with them in the global chat, but they rudely ignored me. I stood on rooftops howling like a werewolf, or maybe more like a cute little baby wolf. I was then attacked by a wolf. A lot of wolf-related content coming at you fast, but fortunately I found a handgun and rinsed the dog. This was good, but I still desperately wanted to kill a player. Of course, between these fleeting encounters, I had to survive the wilderness, which meant a lot of drinking water. Also other super necessary survival mechanics.
So unnecessary.
On my travels, I'd found a keycard that accessed a bunker by the coastline. This would be quite the hike, but I felt it was my only option. Pistols and single-shot MP5s just aren't cutting it, and the reward could be huge. So I run an extremely long way. I arrive at the bunker and make my way inside. It's truly terrifying down here as these zombies keep laughing at me.
This is actually terrifying, bro.
I haven't been laughed at like that since I asked this girl to put on a shark costume and nutted in her mouth. Now I can say my kids got eaten by a shark, which is a huge cultural flex down here in Australia. It's scary, but I find high-end military gear as well as lots of army zombies that are tough to take down. I then find the door that my keycard gives me access to. This is my moment.
Hello, dear contestants, and welcome to the Kill Box.
I'm suddenly in a game show room with the timer counting down and no idea what to do. There's loot in the center, but bloodthirsty soldiers begin falling from the heavens like it was God's final judgment or any weekday in Libya. Regret sweeps over my body as I realize I've probably just walked into my tomb. The single-shot MP5 isn't doing the job, and it definitely isn't helping that I'm wearing a snorkel and goggles as they keep fogging up. Should this place suddenly fill up with water, however, I'll be chillin'. Low on blood and unable to take any more damage, I bleed to death in the cold Stark facility. A new server, a new lease on life, and a new attitude. I hate to admit it, but between dying in China and loading into this new server, I did the unthinkable. I actually researched the game. I also had a bit of good luck and found a base that had been raided, but still had plenty of scraps for your boy. A pretty depressing home. These guys need to buy a fern or put up a sophisticated painting. I then ran straight to a military airport, and before long, I was kitted out and ready to penetrate some kids. With my bullets. While searching a container, a sniper bullet whizzes past my head and the hunt was on. I initially play tactically, trying to spot the shooter, but I quickly change tactics as I don't want to get him scared. I jump on a mountain bike and ride around in the open. Not only is this an easy kill, whoever is firing also gets to kill a cyclist. It's a huge win-win. I start throwing flares onto the runway, doing my best to bait out the big dog, but he must have run away. He can now join the runaway gang along with my dog, my dad, every player I come across, and the shark costume girl. Women acting like it's weird for a grown man to want to plow a shark is cringe. The delusion of waiting hours and hours for someone only for nothing to happen turns me briefly insane, and I jump off a large building. I then limp onto the runway, firing my shotgun in a desperate attempt to lure anyone in for a fight. Zombies swarm, and I just let them take me. I give up. Just for a second, because this wouldn't be widely considered the most inspirational video on YouTube if it stopped here. I mean, maybe I never kill another player, or maybe I do. But the important thing is, I dig deep and parachute back onto that godforsaken island. I run back to that same airfield. When someone has PTSD associated with a particular location, revisiting the same area is a huge step in recovery. For me, it's the airfield, but for some it could be something they once wore. Basically what I'm trying to say is that it doesn't make a male adult abnormal if he wants his girlfriend to dress up like a great white shark and give him a tasteful reach around. Camping out at the airport was a long process. Needing to hydrate, I went to the terminal to search some of the vending machines, and then I saw him. The dodgy Malacca is hard to make out, but a man with a fully automatic weapon is lining me up. Fortunately, I have the reflexes of a sexy little tiger shark, and I managed to get out of the way. He hits me multiple times and I begin to bleed out. All I have is a gold desert eagle and a huge Johnson. That's not a crude joke, I actually made him well hung in the character creation. I try to bandage up, but he teleports to me using ping magic, and I just start firing. It's a red hot mess of first person to third person rapid cycling action, but against all odds, the Deagle does the job. I limp over to the corpse of my opponent. I know I have no future in this world, as I can't possibly give myself the medical aid needed to punch through this many bullet wounds. I search his body, which inadvertently takes off his clothes so that he's naked. I then collapse onto his body as we die on top of each other, which is a far more romantic ending than I was planning, but I guess it works. This video is dedicated to one of my Discord mods, Super Chaos, who sadly passed away recently. He was a friend, a king, and will be missed by many. If you like survival games, then you'll love this, it's really fun, and if you enjoyed this video, hit like, follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I love you.